What's up, guys? Sammy Robbins here, and today I want to talk to the parents. This will actually be helpful for those of you who aren't parents as well, whether you are the child of parents and navigating through your relationship with them, or whether you are a parent to be. But I wanted to talk to parents because one thing that I have discovered, which I work with we work with all women, and I work with young women, and I work with middle-aged women, and I work with older women. We get to coach them through their shame that they have over feeling like a failure as a parent. We get to love them and lead them and walk them through things, not because we've lived as much life as them, because that would be foolish, but because we've gone on a journey and we've confronted things in our inner world that have led us into freedom. And so we're able to just lead from the breakthrough we've received, but also from the wisdom of the Holy Spirit. And one thing that I've seen time and time again with parents and with my own parents, and also from our clients who are working through their pain that they have towards their parents, there is a lot of shame around parents failing. I have a video called "Your Parents Are the Problem." It's supposed to be a catchy title that triggers you and makes you want to see what I'm talking about. And if you actually watch it and take the time to listen to it, we're talking about how, yes, a lot of our dysfunctions come from the way that we were parented and how it affects our early childhood development. But no, your parents actually aren't the problem, because they were never supposed to be perfect and they're never supposed to be God to you. So we're walking in that video, we're walking through, navigating through your pain around parents, helping you actually recognize and get out of denial from where your parents failed, if you do have denial, and then helping you not blame your parents if you do have resentment, bitterness, blame, accusation. I think the whole goal for me and for Spence and the way that we lead is helping people process their pain so that they are no longer bound by it. A lot of us have pain towards our parents, and parents, those of you who are watching this, here's the thing, is that you did fail. And I say that with love and empathy and compassion. I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna fail miserably in moments, and I'm gonna fail softly and tenderly in moments. But the thing is that you aren't God. There's no way for you to know what every single one of your kids needs. There's no way for you to know how to tend to all of those things. And you have all of your own dysfunctions and lenses based off of the way that your parents parented you. And so holding a standard over yourself, this is to parents again, where you felt like you needed to be perfect, or where you're shaming yourself for your failures, neither are effective, and neither one of them will help you be a better parent. What I've loved seeing from parents that I would say are quote unquote healthy is that they have relinquished control and recognized that they've failed, but are still committed to trying to love their kids better. They are not shaming themselves for not being God. They are not shaming themselves for not being perfect. I think I had bad grammar right there, but roll with the punches with me. But they're not shaming themselves, but they're also still hungry to grow. They're also still trying to figure out, how can I meet my needs, my kids' needs? They're hungry for connection, and they're not defending what they did in the past, but they're happy to sit and listen to their kids' pain, take ownership for how they affected their child, even if they didn't do anything wrong. And then they're willing to learn and move forward with, how can we do things better and differently? And so parents, you were never supposed to be perfect. You were never supposed to be God. But because of that, you did create wounds in your child. And yet that is a gift, because your kid has the opportunity to take their pain, take the way that you affected them because you weren't perfect, and bring that pain to God, who is the only perfect Father, who is the only one who knows exactly what we need and how to tend to that. So moments of failure in parenting as a whole are opportunities for us to learn and grow and heal and get more connection and intimacy with God, so that we can move forward with that. I know for me and some of my friends were like, oh gosh, like I have so many dysfunctions from the way that my parents raised me, which, Mom and Dad, I love you so much. I'm never ever shaming you whenever I say any of these things. I just want talking about pain to be normal. There's this huge shame culture where people feel afraid to be honest and afraid to talk about pain, and I'm just unwilling to do that. I actually want to break that, and I want to create a movement where we can all openly talk about our pain and our dysfunctions without blame and without accusation. My friends and I are like, gosh, I was so dysfunctional because of my childhood. I hope I don't screw my kids up. I I could totally screw my kids up. I could be a really amazing parent, and no matter how amazing of a parent I am, I'm still going to fail. But in these moments, there's an opportunity to actually just relinquish control and be like, you know what? Even if I was the quote unquote perfect parent, there are still things in life and in my child's life that are going to be totally out of my control. One of those things for parents that are completely out of your control is your child's perception of reality, your child's perception of you, your child's memories. There are actually, in studies that are done on the brain and the memory, our brain, especially as children, remembers things differently than what actually happened. Outside of childhood, that happens too. We can actually piece together different moments from different memories, and we will recall one memory from one event as if all of those things happened at one time, and they actually didn't. But our pain isn't based on reality. Our pain is based on our perception and our experience. And so regardless of if something happened or not, regardless of if there was bad intentions or not, regardless of all of those little minute details, the way that we experience pain matters, and it shapes us and it sculpts us. So it needs to be seen, it needs to be heard, it needs to be validated in order for us to heal. And so point being, there are things that are just out of our control. So the quicker, as a human in general watching this, the quicker you can actually step into surrender and out of control, step into, I don't know what's going to happen. I probably will fail. Things probably won't turn out exactly the way I wanted or the way that I was hoping, but I'm going to choose internally to be okay, and I'm going to choose to trust God in the end, regardless of what happens. I know for me, I love trusting in the nature of God and that He is a redeemer. So regardless of what happened in the past, He can make something as if it is new completely. He redeems all things. He restores all things. And so part of surrender for me is trusting in His nature and His ability to redeem things. So parents, if you're watching this, yes, you failed, and what a gift. What a gift that I'm going to fail as a parent, that I'm going to get to grow in my humility, that I'm going to get to learn about these two humans, that I'm going to have to in moments be okay with everything being out of my control. That in those moments when I feel that pain of being out of control, or I feel the pain of being a failure, I can take that pain to God and ask God, what do you think about me? God, how do you see me? God, what does my kid need right now? God, what does the little kid inside of me need right now? God, how are you going to tend to and take care of my heart in this? God, what part of your nature do you want to reveal to me inside of this? And if you're a kid that's processing through pain around your parent, or if you're an adult who has kids and you're processing through the pain that you have around your parents, let God into that pain. Let God into those past experiences. Let God into those memories, and ask God in those moments, God, how would you have fathered me? How would you have mothered me? God, what do you want to do in my heart through this pain? What do you want to teach me? How do you want to reveal yourself to me? None of this is about right or wrong or good or bad. This is about wisdom. It's about intimacy with God. It's about actually getting rid of the shame and the shackles and stepping into what Jesus purchased for us on the cross. Actually receiving I've been cleansed. I've been forgiven. I no longer have to be in bondage to this shame. This shame that I've partnered with has been my friend since I was a little kid, because maybe your parents shamed you. Maybe that's been a friend and a helper to you for a long time. But you do not have to be a slave to those friendships and partnerships. It might actually start with you going on a journey saying, shame, you've never been a friend to me. I was convinced that if I shamed myself enough that I would get results. And it's a lie. I was misled. Shame, I break up with you. It's another simple, practical way of doing deliverance. It's saying, shame, leave right now in Jesus' name. God, show me how you want to break shame in my life. How do you want to reveal yourself to me? So in this video, I wanted to communicate this, to share a little more of my heart around some of the things that I mentioned. We don't really get to dive in depth about anything that we do in these YouTube videos. That's what our course is for. And so I know that there have been a lot of question marks from my family about some of the things that I talk about, but I have intentionally processed through my pain that I have around my parents so that I am no longer living in bondage to that pain, so that I no longer am carrying resentment or bitterness or feeling the disappointment from what my parents couldn't be to me. They were never supposed to be God in the first place. They're just two humans that did the best that they could with the tools that they had. But by me looking at that pain and going through seasons, feeling that that pain and inviting God into that and actually processing it, I've gotten to this place where I no longer have bitterness and resentment. I've actually entered into forgiveness, and it's an ongoing process. There are still layers and things that I'm sure will have to work through, but it's brought me to this place where I can just see my parents as people who tried to love me as best as they could, people who got to be a glimmer of the heart of God to me in moments, and actually ended up leading me closer to God in the end, because I recognized that He was the only one who could satisfy and fulfill me. He was the only one that could have been a perfect parent, and that is a gift, my friends. So I know that was a lot. I hope that you got something out of it. I hope that that was helpful. I know that I couldn't cover nearly as much as I would have liked to. And so if you have questions and if you are curious about different things, I first really love when people ask questions in comments instead of leave assumptions and judgments based off of what I didn't say. And so I'd love for you to ask those questions, and maybe I can record another video going more in depth, because I know that this is a hot topic. And so I hope this blessed you. I love you guys. If you want to learn how to navigate through this pain, if you want to go on a deeper journey, if you have been stuck in disconnection with your parents, bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness, or if you're a parent and you're wanting to figure out how to actually get free from your shame and how to heal some of the internal things in your own life, if you want to learn how to become a better parent, if you want to grow, I really encourage you to click the link below. And this is for women only. We only work with women at this point in time, but click the link below. You can watch our free training, and from there it'll invite you to book a free call with one of our team members to look into our programs. So that link is in the description, so give it a click. We hope to see you on the other side, but I love you all so much. Bye.